Hello everyone, hello teacher, hello classmates. I hope that you are very well. Today I want to talk about to use something that is not just a headline, is not just a design problem, but it's sometimes that I think affects every single person, every one of us, right? Because here right now, and there's a particular mindset towards in that I believe we like as our generations uh, we need to react, right? So I'm talking about climate change, and yes, and I want us all to bridge the talk of ignoring climate change. Yeah, like the test is saying that this is my bridge that I have chosen to talk about today, right? Okay, so we know that bridge the talk is a strong phrase, isn't it? Because it means an idea, so it's too wrong, maybe too dangerous, and that we shouldn't even let it cross our mind for a second. And I think that when it comes to ignoring the reality of our changing climate, I believe that that's precisely right the attitude that we need. So thinking we can just look away, and that's a thought that truly needs to perish. So that's the main point, right? So wait, why should strong language? I think that the stakes are incredibly high. Ignoring climate change is not as simple as just closing our eyes and hoping it goes away. No, it's not like a bad dream we can wake up from. This is reality, and the consequences of inaction are far-reaching. We are enjoying living on a beautiful planet, don't we? And we appreciate having clean air to breathe and stable weathers and patterns. But I think that these are things we can no longer take for granted if we continue to allow a pathway to win, right? So I think that some people try to downplay the issue, or they feel overwhelmed and choose to avoid to think about it. And yeah, but I understand that feeling of being overwhelmed. I totally do. But if someone sucks, let's just ignore that crowing fire in the corner of the room. You would say, "Preach the talk," right? Well, our planet is signaling a much larger, albeit slower burning crisis. So, um, now I can say that I want to say that for decades scientists have warned us about the potential impact of rising greenhouse gas emissions that are produced by the automobile, by cars, and by everything that use oil, right? So for a long time, these warnings were not heeded by enough people in power, like governments or leaders. By the time the broader public truly started paying attention, significant change had already begun uh, to manifest. This is evidence. We have seen this because it's real, right? Also, extreme weather events like unprecedented heat waves, more intense hurricanes, and devastating flood are being reported more frequently. Ecosystems are being disrupted, and biodiversity is being lost. And now we can see the Amazon forest. Every day, the Amazon forest loses like hundred of acres of trees. So it's important to act. So that's the evidence. The evidence is clear. Yes, and it's being presented to us time and time again. So I think that when someone suggests that it's all hot or an exaggeration, I say again, perish that thought. So yeah, now I think that it's easy to think that climate change is a problem for future generations, or for people in faraway countries. But that's a dangerous misconception. The reality is that the impacts are as immediate for us as they are for anyone else, perhaps in different ways initially, but they are coming. Ignoring the polling no is not as responsible as taking proactive steps. However, I think that small they may seem. But think about it. The quality of the air that we breathe every day, on a smoggy day, the price of food when those affect harvest, the safety of coastal communities as sea levels rise, these issues are as tangible as anything else in our daily lives. We are not separate from our environment, and we are extremely linked. What affects the planet affect us. So the idea that this won't touch our life directly, I think that reached the top. Yeah, it is so absurd. So, what does ignoring climate change actually look like in practice? Well, it have many means, but we give up on making sustainable choice. It means we can't speak out for policies that protect our environment. It might mean we put off learning more about the issue because it feels too big. Um, Perhaps we come across information but then quickly turn away because it's uncomfortable, right? We cannot afford to let down future generations. We cannot let down ourselves. We must look after our planet. This is not a challenge we can use to get through by hoping someone else solves it. No, we need to stand for a sustainable future. I think that the idea of our individual inaction doesn't contribute to the larger problem. There is that though. Now, it's not all doom and gloom far from it. I think that understanding the separated is the first step towards actions. We can have an impact, and we must. We can get our communities to embrace more sustainable practice, and we can have our voices heard by policy markers. And we need to have sustainable infrastructure developed. Ideally, we can start by making conscious choice and reducing our consumptions, reducing items, recycling, and I think that also we can choose sustainable transportation like bicycling, walk more. And also, we can get ourselves more educated further on the uses, and we can encourage our families and friends to adopt green habits. So yeah, so I think that collectively we can support organizations that are working on climate solutions. We can have discussions united in our schools and communities about what more can be done. We believe that one person can make a difference. It's a perceived one, but it's a myth. Uh, Many people feel this way, but that's not true, right? I believe in the power of collective actions. So you should, so should you? You should do that, right? Yep. So also, someone might say the problem is too big. My actions won't matter. I understand that feeling is doubting, but if everyone talk that way, then indeed nothing will change. I refuse to accept that, and neither should you. Yep, so finally, to conclude, as we move forward, um, let's commit to learn more, to doing more actions, and to speak up more. The challenge of climate change is immense, but humanity has faced immense challenges before, and we have gotten solutions implemented when we work together. Perish the thought of ignoring climate change. Perish the thought of that it's too late. Perish the thought that your actions doesn't matter. Instead, let's embrace the talk of innovations, the talk of collective responsibility, and the talk of sustainable, healthy future that we can all help build. The power is held by us, by our choices, by our voices. Let's use it. So yeah, that's my final message, and thank you for listening me. And I truly hope that you have enjoyed me in not just thinking about this, right? Because it's important, but acting that is more important. Let's have a real change made. Thank you.